welcome everyone to the introduction of the GT-Pro Season 2 on rFactor 2, an official competition hosted by Studio 397, and it starts already on next Monday, October the 12th, 2020. This little video shall be about first the car reveal. So you're now seeing we're running the Callaway Corvette C7 GT3 car for the entire season, and this video shall also be for you guys, that you guys are always aware what will happen on a race day, what is the race format, what to look out for. So despite the stream, so either a personal onboard stream or maybe even the official stream may not answer everything the moment you need it, you can come back to this video and be like, oh yeah, that is the second race now. And I'm going to show you a little pictures, I'm going to show you a little information about the series, what's going to be happening, and we're starting off right now with the first of our information sheets, which will be the GT-Pro Series Season 2 calendar. As introduced, the season will start on the 12th of October in Sebring. Then every other Monday we will have a race, so 26th of October, 9th of November, stuff like that. So every other Monday the races will be, we got Portland, Virginia, Nürburgring, Indianapolis, and a surprise. Most of you probably have a guess, but since nothing is announced, I can't really tell. So I just keep it as a surprise here. So that will be the calendar for the upcoming season. Then the GT Pro car selection. Remember, GT Pro is a full GT3 series. That means you can choose the Audi, the Mercedes, the Corvette, the Radical, both McLarens, Ferrari, Porsche, Aston Martin, and Bentley. So every GT3 available from Studio 397. Not sure if the Ferrari made it in because it came quite late, but I think it just came in time. So we were allowed to run the Ferrari as well. So it will be interesting to see how the drivers will pick the car. Speaking about the drivers, there is two things you need to know about. We're just talking about the GT Pro series, which is the top of the top split of the GT3 runners on rFactor 2. Beyond that, there is a GT Challenge series, though, which will feature 8 splits. Yes, you heard right, 8 splits. That qualifying also has just finished, and the top 240 drivers will be selected for a 30-car split each. And yeah, the top 5 of the top split will make it into the season next year. So they're going to be relegated, but we're talking about that later during the stream. Anyway, next up, the 30 drivers we do have in the GT Pro Series Season 2. I'm going to go through them quickly. Number 1, Erhan Yayovsky. Number 2, Kevin Ziggy Rabenek. Number 3, Nikodem Wisniewski. Number 4, Rudy van Buren. Number 5, Jenny Simincic. We got Arne Schonfleet in the 6 car, Peter Brejak in the 7 car, Hani Asapti in the 8 car, Jakub Brzezinski in the number 9 car, and the number 10 car has been driven by Risto Capit. I will leave the other numbers for you guys, so if you're interested to just check out who is in the car, that can be a little of a spotter guide to you if you're wondering about car numbers. The only exception we do have here is number 31 car, Kevin Rotting, because I am afraid that it's not 100% secure. Rudy van Buren, A, will make either round, or B, any round, or the full season. So I think Kevin is allowed to run with us. So we have at least 30 drivers on the grid at each race. Coming to the GT Pro Series format, and that will be the interesting part for you guys to watch at, because there will be action going on. Action, and even more action. Because we will have 2 races per event, a 15-minute sprint race and a 45-minute main race. So, as we're talking about, Sebring is being the season opener next Monday. We do have 2 races at Sebring, then 2 races at the next track, which is Portland, 2 races at Virginia, and so on until the end of the season on 21st of December. So that's going to be the format for all the races. You're going to have an hour of free practice, a qualifying, and the qualifying will set the grid for the sprint race. So you're going to have got 15 minutes to make up your spots, because at the end of that 15-minute sprint race, you want to be in the top 10, because the top 10 of the sprint race will be in the reverse grid and reversed order starting for the main race. So if you finish 9th or 10th, you've got a front row start for the 45-minute race, which will give you a lot of points if you win it. We'll talk about that later though. How will those races be started? We're going to have rolling starts. I'm expecting double file being carried out by the rFactor 2 starting system, so the exact way we had it in VEC. That said though, we're not quite sure yet. I'm probably a race director, Mr. Jimmy Ellison, is going to come around with a nice briefing there, telling us how to start. Anyway, the weather on race day will be scripted, and it will be apparently scripted to the forecast that's been given out on weather stations, on weather forecast pages and stuff like that, so drivers can be aware what kind of weather to expect, as we all expected rain to come for the 8 hours of Silverstone and VEC last week. So yeah, there will be that about the weather. Then speaking about the race schedule, as already indicated, we're going to have an hour of free practice on Monday evening. Then we got a 15-minute qualifying, which allows you to, unless some specific rules being put on, like to do 3, maybe 4 hot laps. Then we got the race start sprint, and right after the sprint race, we will have, like, honestly, just a 2-3 minutes break before we go on with the race for the start for the main race on approximately 40 minutes past 8 p.m. My personal stream will always be live 15 minutes into the free practice, so you guys can come in, chill out, put some questions down, ask some specific things, or just enjoy the free practice madness. But that's going to be the schedule, 4-hour streams as well. Beyond that, the series, the GT-Pro Series season format will feature 2 different ways of point deduction. So for the sprint race, it's going to be, well, P1 gets 20, P2 gets 18, 16, 14, and you can run down the number and see where you end up with. I think it's P15. Let me see. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, P15, that gets the final point. However, as I said, you want to be in the top 10 position, because even though if you just get like 6 points, but you receive pole position for the main race, and if you win the main race and get 35 points, that will make up for the bad positions in the first race, because the main race has an interesting point deduction. Winner gets 35 points, second place gets 30, third place gets 28, and from then onwards it goes down 1 by 1 by 1. So even the 30th car on the finish, the last car, will get points if finished. Participation points per round is 150. Those participation points probably more interesting and more relevant for the GT Challenge, because with the 8 splits, depending on your split, there may be different points awarded for participation. So let's say, you know, for split 1, 125 points per race event, for split 2, 100 points per race event, for split 3, 57, and so on. Note that were just random numbers. Because they will be used as soon as drivers come up or get promoted or demoted into different splits. They will carry their points, and with a participation point of each round, they are carrying their points of whatever split and then being put into competition with the other split they get promoted in, if that makes sense. I think if you think about it and if you understood me correctly, then you will figure out what I mean. However, if you just still have questions towards it, put them down in the comment area of this video. So that's about the participation points, and there will be one drop week. So one of the events where you got the lowest points from, they will get deleted, they will drop out. So at the end of the day, it's 5 events that will count. There's going to be 1 champion, there's going to be 30 drivers trying to be that 1 champion, and I think you guys will have a lot of fun watching that series. Every other Monday, I will schedule my streams as usual, and you guys will enjoy a lot of madness. Maybe I'll lose my head again when my wheel comes off or whatever. So you guys, there will be a lot of suspense, there will be a lot of trouble and a lot of tight racing, because honestly those 30 guys, they are the best of the best in rFactor 2, and I'm so proud to be a part of them and so happy to race with them. Guys, if you got any questions whatsoever towards this series, feel free to put the question down in the comments area below. I will go for them and answer them one by one. And other than that, I hope you enjoy the GT Pro Series Season 2. You enjoy this playlist, because the following videos in this playlist will be practice sessions, or actually the races up towards this race format, or maybe some highlights videos, depending on whether I got time to do them. Guys, thank you so much for watching this. Hope you have enjoyed it, and we will look out for you on the streams for the GT Pro Series Season 2.